What is normalization of the data? If we talk about the normalization of the data, is basically reducing the data to smaller chunk of the data so that the excess data can be reduced. Or we can create, for example, the presentation of the data in such a way that we have combined one single file available there, because for pivot table and for Power Query and all that, we need to apply that combination of the data available. So that data works as a one concise data to us. While we normalize the data, we also establish some kind of relationships over there so that we can get the data from different areas and try to apply those over there. So we have done the identification of the errors, plus we've sent some more tools available to see how can we clear the data, how can we count the errors, what are the array functions, and we've seen that all these available here. Now, if I go to the data set here, for example, if we see something called data tables, as I mentioned in my path earlier, the path I mentioned earlier, the passage you have to go through, we need to discuss about the data tables. Before we go to the data table, I must tell you something over here, that if I've got my sum available here for the targets, for example, and pick up the sum like that, I can see it is showing me 1360,000 over here. But if I try to add something here, for example, suppose I put that over here, put that here only, and apply something like value here. You can see the tag appears, but the update doesn't appear. The tag appears, but the update doesn't appear over here. So if I clear that now, the tag goes off. Now we study the data table features now. We study the data table features now to see how that really works and allows us to work with that so that we can use that strategically over here and make the best use of the data table features available over there. How can you apply that? The session detail that you see and the material that you see is based on the global way that we conduct the training, but we keep on tuning that to the latest needs for that matter. So you might find certain things new over here, which are more relevant to world and world of computing also, which is why you might find something different here and different over there in the session. But this one is the latest update that I'm sharing with you so that you know how to work in this case. To define a table as a data table, we need to go to Home tab, apply format as table and apply a table, anything from here. So please go to select a single cell and apply table. I will tell you one more option over here. Features do not require entire table selection for use. Sort, filter, subtotal, pivot, chart, and data table. So these features do not require entire table selection for use. If I go click a cell over here, I can sort my data instantly. And these are the features used for reporting purpose. Any report that you create, you have to sort, you have to filter, you have to apply subtotal, you have to apply pivot and chart. And data table is the base of all. We're starting from here. We'll then go to these options subsequently and reach out over here. We're starting from here. So as I go here, for example, I define a table over here, for example. So please go to the dealers table here, and go to the Home tab, apply format as table, and work on any of the format that you want to apply. Suppose I pick up green only like this and pick up this over here. It takes the entire table automatically. See, I did not select my table. I clicked the cell only, and it has taken entire table automatically. Pivot table also, you don't have to select entire table. I'll show you that when we go to pivot table. So when I go to select my table over here, I can see that my entire table is selected automatically over here. It's important to define this here because later when we try to work with the pivot table, it is easy to access my data across the worksheets. It is easy to access my data across the worksheets. So I click that over here and see that my table is defined in this case. I can then go to the table design option, clear the filter buttons over here. The filter buttons are clear, and define the table name like this. T for table, dealers in this case, and press enter. So please define that now. Click a cell over here. Go to the Home tab, apply format as table. Apply format as table, please. We worked on the data quality. We can't neglect the data quality over there. We worked on the data quality just now to make sure that the errors are not there. These are the common pitfalls in reporting. We've covered the data quality just now and seen that my data is completely correct. Assuming that my data is corrected over here and I've seen the data here, that's what I see. Data table is defined. So please define that here also. I'll go to the Home tab, Format as Table. The shortcut is Control T for that. If I go click here, Control T shows me the shortcut. But the point is, in this case, the format is taken automatically. If I click OK now, the format is taken automatically. So I'm pressing Control Z. I want to define my format myself. So I don't try Control T. Control T is the option here. Format table. This is the format table option, Control T. This one is the same as this option here, Format as Table. Both are same. So this option goes directly into the formatted table in that case. I don't want to format my table for the alternate rows in that case. I want to go to Home tab only and then work with Format as Table here. Let's try this again. This time it is products over here. So I can click OK. Go to the table design. Uncheck filter buttons. Then T for table. I'll apply products over here. Enter. Let's do it. Let's apply that. And you will notice that we get a kind of a symbol over here indicating my table ends over here. I can really go to the symbol which is expandable and try to expand the rows or the columns as per my choice. But I'll leave it over here. So I can really expand the column or the row like that as per my choice. But I'll leave it over here. So this one is called Design, T Products, T for Tables. This one is called T Dealers. And if I go to my Formulas tab, go to Name Manager, I can see these are defined over here. They were not there earlier, but now they are there. As you can see, there are only two options in this case. As I add more, I'll see more options there. This one is which option? Formulas tab, Name Manager. Name Manager contains my names over here. Range name, table names, pivot table names are all applied in this Name Manager. So I've got this option and this option. Let's go to Customers. Apply that as well. Home tab, Format as Table. Apply this over here. Taken. Clear the locks. T for table. T customers. Enter. I can then go back and check my Formulas tab, Name Manager, and see that the three tables are defined over here, alphabetically ordered. So this can be capital D. That's okay. That's what we see over here. It is not necessary to have capital D. You can have all lowercase also. But I'm just trying to keep a convention over there so I can follow the convention like that. That's what I can find over here. Close it now. I've got three tables defined over here. There are some benefits of the table. Let me tell you the benefits. You can notice that my data is scrolled over here, is scrolling over here, but my freeze panes is applied. So when I scroll my data, I can see my top row is freeze panes. Top row is freeze panes over here. So please go to A2 and apply Alt W F. That is freeze unfreeze panes options. So the option for freeze unfreeze is Alt W F. Unfreeze panes or freeze panes is Alt W F. So we go here, click a cell here and try Alt W F. If you scroll now, you can see entire sheet scrolls up. How to apply the lock in that case? Again, go to the location which you want to show. For example, the row that you want to show, select a cell below that. Suppose you want to select over here, Alt W F. You can see the scroll happens from here. So I can see my fixed table available there with the headers in this case. But I clear it now, Alt W F. Clear it now. I can see everything is scrolling fine. So please try that. Clear the freeze panes. Please clear the freeze panes. Kindly confirm that you've done this. Got the three tables available over there. In case there's a doubt, please tell me. I'll redo that for you.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features: bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, Get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
Now, what are the features of data table? If I click on a cell like that in the table and scroll up, you can see the table name and the column headers appear over here. Now, column headers appear over here. If I click outside, I can see ABCD back again. If I want to know what column is what address, for example, I can click outside to see the address of the column like that. But if I click inside the table, I can see headers over here. Same, I can see headers over here, but outside, I won't see. So in case I've scrolled my table upwards, I can then check my headers over here because that's part of my table. So I don't require freeze panes. I do not require freeze panes at all in that case. That is the benefit of data tables. That's what we see over here. That's how we can see that. If I further add my data here, for example, the sum contained in this case, last time if you saw that earlier, I could not get the update available, only the tag was there. If I try to apply a value here like this and over here, and I click a value here, enter, it automatically updates over here. So and the extension appears with the format extended thereafter to include the rows data in that case. So any data that is updated in the table, for example, which is the numeric, for example, will get updated here also in this case. We can see that it gets updated over there also. Control Z, that is the second benefit. Third is when I try to apply the next column here, for example, target 24 is there, I want to apply target 25. If I apply that here, the column gets extended automatically. And if I say equal to this, remember we tried that earlier, equal to, it goes to the @ target. So when I specify a cell from the data here, it becomes @ the cell name with the square bracket first and the square bracket afterwards. So if I try that here, for example, I can say equal to square bracket @ it then shows me the options available. I can take target 24, close the bracket here, multiply by 1.3, 30% increase. As I press enter, what happens? It applies to entire column instantly. I don't have to copy paste my formula below. It applies instantly. So that is the way it becomes very rich in this case, and the reporting feature becomes very strong. Before I go to my final reports also, from the raw data, I can check something over here. So three features are truly one. If I go to the table here, I can see my table headers over here. Two, if I add the row, I can add the row here. Automatically, the related functions will get updated. Three, when I add a new column here, for example, a single formula can work the role. And when I press enter over there, it shows the column completely with the answer over here. That's about defining the table names over here. Let's go to work with the real data now and see what are the transactions available there. And on that, we are supposed to apply some VLOOKUP and all that to pick up my data, to complete the data in one set, for example, and be ready for pivot table reports, subtotal reports thereafter. Okay, so let's go to the other sheet now, that is control page up. Control page up over here, we go to the previous sheet. In this case, that's the sheet I'm talking about, data sheet. So please go to the data sheet now. That's the sheet I'm talking about over here. Now I need to do an exercise over here so that my data is complete. For example, I want the month, I want the year, I want the region available based on the dealer code. This contains, for example, north, south, east, and west. Second character is north, south, east, and west in that case. That's what I can see over here. So as I work here, for example, I can go for defining the table first, for example, like this, like we did earlier also. Home tab, format as table, pick up the table again. Apply that over here. Control-Shift-L, that is done. So I can define that as table define, filters cleared, define that as T data, for example, or T sales or T transactions. I'm defining T data, for example, press enter, is defined. If I go to find my name manager, that's Control F3. Name manager is Control F3, so I can find my name manager instantly in that case. So let's try that. Control F3, name manager. I can see T data also here. That's also defined in this case in the name manager. That's Control F3. Having defined that, for example, if I work with the columns now, the column names have changed. They are not simple addresses only. They are now proper column names. So when we define the particular table as a data table, it also defines the column names in that case, designated by the column header that we define over here. Since I have to get my zone from the dealer code second character over here, I can get that first as a region. So if I insert a column here, for example, like this, I say Alt I, then C, insert column. That's how it works. Insert column is Alt I, then C. Alt I, then C. So I press Alt I, then C, insert column. I get the column here, and I can define that as a region over here. Now, when I work with the data set here, because I want my second character here, and that is to be examined every time. So I go to examine as second character here. The mid function will work in that case, along with IFS. Along with IFS in that case, mid function will work. How does IFS work? IFS is like a nested if statement over there. IFS is like nested if statement over there. That's what we can find in that case. If I try my IFS here like this, it will be something like this. If, for example, mid of this one, right now it is not showing the column address over here because I'm not in the part of my table. I'm outside the table. If I'm part of my table, it'll show the column header also, which I'll show you just now. But if I try this here, for example, comma 2, comma 1. So what is the basically comma 2, comma 1 equal to mid? This address, comma 2, comma 1 is basically second character, only one character. From second location, pick up one character. Answer is N in this case. If I pick up this one, for example, A16 in place of A10. I take A16, for example. This one is S, you can see that. This one is S. If I take 3 characters from here, it will show me S00. I can see that over here. 3 characters over here. So what does the mid function say? Mid function tells me I can pick up the data from a location, go to a specific location over here, and pick up the next 2, 3, 4 characters I want to pick up. Okay. Or I could have done left function also. Left function, because D is common across, I can say left side, pick up 2 characters, check for DN or DS or DW for my north, south, and west. So this is the way mid function can work. Therefore, I apply that inside this statement. IFS, for example, mid. And when I apply that over here, I can go to this cell over here. And then I can say comma 2, comma 1. And then I can say equal to W. Then give me west. If I repeat that again and again, I'll have to repeat mid number of times over here. So I can do one thing. With a comma here, I can just copy like this. Control C and paste it over here and make a change that to W to E and this one to East, for example, like that, and so on. That is how this will work. So to avoid confusion, I've told you the answer over here as one example. As we go further, for example, example 1 over here. But if I go here, this system will change. So let's try this example now as a base of this example. So if that is W, I give west. If that is E, I give east. So let me try that here. IFS, we go to mid. Then we go to the cell, see the address changes like that. It is dealer code, comma 2, comma 1. If that is equal to N, for example, then give me north and copy that over here. Control C, copy, paste it over here. That becomes west. With W, comma, paste it over here. That becomes south. With S, and then comma, paste. That becomes east. with E. Close the bracket, enter, we find the entire data copied over here. That's the one short answer for the entire data, and we get such a big answer there. We can reduce the answer. That is the way we can work. We can reduce the answer because my repeat is happening over here number of times. So I can pretty well work on this formula, something like this. If this particular part, for example, is copied over here, and then I apply that here, a let function. Let function says what is the name you want. I want region to be checked. What is the full form of region? Full form of region is this. Complete with function over there. And then apply that over here. We close this over here. This part now requires region to be replaced everywhere over here. That's a region. That is a spelling I'm carrying over here. So copy. I could have done that earlier also, but I'm first telling you the structure of the function to be compared. So this becomes fairly small. You can see that over here. Because you reduce the size of the formula also to reduce that on the entire set for that matter, and that works absolutely fine. This is the final function that you can see over here. That's what I've provided over here. This is the function. You can try that. So let will declare a variable which casts the value here. I'm casting a variable here. I'm casting a variable here that contains RGN, that is RGN, that contains the value of this expression over here that goes over here. And wherever I need that with function, I'm using region over here easily. So in one particular function, if in case you require one particular expression number of times, you can then declare that using a let function. So first part of let function is what? First part of let function is a variable. Second part of let function is expression. Third part of let function is the function itself. And the function can then use the variable inside that whenever required. Close the function, close the let statement. That's how it works. So whatever expression is supposed to repeat in my function, for example, thereafter, I can announce that as a variable name here, giving a kind of a name to the expression. Then use that variable name number of times in the function. The work reduces and understanding is so much more easier. This has been assigned to this particular keyword over there, and this keyword or variable is being used here number of times. That becomes fairly easy. So please try that now. Please try that now and see that it is done. That's how it works. It works on 2019 also. In case it doesn't work on 2019, we'll then work on. So we have this formula text from here that will work in this case. And we'll let a region over here. It works like this. Let me zoom in a little.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
Then we can try, for example, the product and product group to get from master sheet over here and see how easy is that if I do it now. Insert column here, for example. I want one more column here. So I want a product group here and product over here. Because in the file that is there for me, for example, that product master there, for example, pivot table will have to be using the data model method in that case to get that over there, which I'll discuss later with you. I want the product group from there using XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP, for example. So I can try XLOOKUP on the product code over here. And I want to get that file. That file is what file? It's my product file, right? So if I go here, I can see my T product. Remember? Low. T products, I got this. Square bracket. It has to pick up the entire product code. That's what I want. Close square bracket, comma. I want the product group, in this case, T products, square bracket. I want the group, close square bracket, and close XLOOKUP. Enter. So I did not have to go there at all. Advantage of defining the table is this, that wherever I'm working in my current file, for example, I can establish my VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, any function across because I remember the table name. And I remember the table name. Once I go to inside the table name, I get the field names automatically available there. Let's do it once again. Equal to XLOOKUP. Find that here. I can type that also manually. Then find T products. Okay. Open square bracket. Add the rate. Product code in this case. That's what is applied. That's fine. T products. Open that. The code to be taken first for access purpose. Apply that. T products. Now take the product group in that case. Close the square bracket, close the bracket here and get the answer. That's what we got. To get the product, I can try the same thing again. So this particular function goes here and we try one more. XLOOKUP, for example, again the product code. T product. I want the product now. Based on the product code, close the bracket. T products. I want the product now, so I can pick up the product like that. Apply that over here and complete that. I get the product over here. So that is the function for this. That is the way it works fairly fast. So it becomes easy for me to define my data table and access my data from anywhere. That's a smart way of handling the data in that case, saving a lot of time. So we are doing a data preparation right now. The model I showed you earlier was basically raw data. We worked on raw data earlier over here. I showed you how to combine raw data here. And then I showed you how to work with the masters over here. And now I'm doing data preparation over here. The small diagram I showed you here. That part I'm covering right now. Raw data we discussed. We're doing data preparation now. Once I finish this part over here, we'll start the report designing, which includes many options available there. So I've got my this part designed. That is my XLOOKUP considering this part over here. So this exercise is done. Zone has been done. I've got the zone available. It's a region or a zone, same thing in this case. Month and year from the date column. So I'll need to pick up my two columns over here. Select across, insert columns. You want a month over here and the year over here. So month is a business month I want there. What is a business month? 3 characters. Or 3 characters for business month. So in that case, I can try, for example, text over here. Text on the date, comma, 3 times M, close the bracket here. We get this month number, month name available like this. So that's a month name appearing like that. I'll give you time to try that over here. And here is fairly simple. I can apply like this. Year in this case, go there, pick up the year. That shows like a date, doesn't matter. We can convert that to the number. Sometimes the negotiation of the two functions returns into a date or a number, and we got to convert that. In this particular case, it is done like that because I inserted a column. And I inserted the column, so it has carried the format of the date over here, which is why it's showing like a date in this case. Okay, that is why it's showing like that. I can press Control Shift down arrow and press this option over here. Control Shift and the wave sign. Control Shift and the wave sign to show my year number over here. So in case you're trying to negotiate some function and the answer is in a form of a date, which should be in the form of a number, you can then convert the date to a number using this format over here, Control, Shift, and the wave sign. In the LMS, I'll also post the shortcut keys for Excel so that you get the support available on that as well. Whichever I'm talking about right now, I'll send you the shortcut keys also for that. Okay. In this file, I'll attach the shortcut keys here and you'll find that over here. So Control, Shift, and wave converts to the year in this case. That's what we can find over here. And see, that is done. Okay. So date to number is Control, Shift, and wave sign here. That's what we can find over here. That's date to number is Control, Shift, and wave sign over here. That wave sign is below the escape key on the keyboard. You can find that over there. So combination of this will convert your date to a number. In case you find a date which should be a number, you can apply this combination on the selection over there. And then you find that over here. So I've got all my data set ready now. So please try to apply these. In case there's a doubt somewhere, please tell me so that we are ready with the data preparation over here. Please try to apply this now. If there's a doubt somewhere, I'll need to explain that. I'll do that again. Any doubt anywhere, this is too much of work right now. So please try to apply this and tell me if there's a doubt. I'll explain that again. Please try. I'm holding. If that is not there with your function, with your Excel, you can try this one, else you can try this. So let function allows me to create a casting variable over there. The casting variable basically assigns a expression over here to this particular variable, and that variable can be reused number of times in my if statement. So compare this entire if statement to this if statement. It is so short in this case and easy to understand also. I've taken very simple examples for data preparation. 2 of the examples for XLOOKUP, 2 examples for month and year collection. That's normally there. And 1 example for zone creation, that is region creation over here.
No, I couldn't get the month and year. I do it differently typically. How you did it? Okay, cool.
So when I write this @text equal to text over here, for example, I go to the function that the cell that contains the date. After that, I go here, comma, double quotes, 3 times M, 1, 2, 3, close quotes and bracket, and that's what is the answer.
Okay. And now for the year, you just do Y for Y's?
Just year like that. That's it.
Okay.
So we're doing a data preparation over here. This can be even bigger than this. And sometimes very small. You will never get the data completely prepared for you like a cake. You'll not get that. We always have to work with the data preparation. So I've given a very small exercise here so that we can go through that churning once again and try to see how to collate the data and bring it about our file. Because the final requirement of my data set is a final output file that I need over here. That is what I need normally.
Could you tell me how to, I've converted my date to a numeric format with using the Control Shift, this wiggly line, but I'm not sure how to convert it back to the regular format. And I'm not able to convert or extract a month.
That's a month function that we saw just now. Is that okay?
Yeah, I can try that. How did you do
this way?
like text? Yeah, I'll try that now. Oh.
And the month number that is there, for example, that can be converted using this one. If there's a date available, you can apply like this. I'll just separate it out here to make it more clear. So anything that is a date but has to be a number, for example, you can make a selection down like that and try the combination Control Shift and the wave sign. This wave sign is somewhere here. It's below the escape key in the real keyboard, below the escape key over here somewhere. But in the on-screen keyboard, it's over here. Control, Shift, and the wave sign. So in case you find the date find the number in the date format, you can convert that using this shortcut over here. Yes, Nalini, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm not able to get the year. I use the same formula, but
why so? This is the function.
yeah, I used year, but I'm not getting that. I use the year function.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting the whole date.
Yes, I'm also getting the date.
It's okay. You'll get the date only. It's fine. It's fine. After the date is there, make a selection for the entire column like this. Control Shift down arrow, and then convert that to number like that. After the selection, you have to go to this shortcut key, apply the shortcut key over here. It shows like a date because it was a date column earlier. When we insert a column, then the new column picks up the format from the previous column. Because we inserted the column here, it picked up the format from this column, and the format of this was a date. That's why it showed like a date over here. So I can make a selection on the date column like that and convert from date to number like this.